Love them or hate them, Apple is one of the richest companies in the world, worth trillions of dollars. But how did a company that started in a garage with a budget of a cent to the calculator get so big? And most importantly, what's next? Today we'll be diving into Apple's journey from its many controversies to its very good designs. Now I'm Simon from Sam Nova, and let's get into it. They first started all the way back in 1976 in a garage in Los Altos, California. It was a scrappy, self-titled, rebellious company founded by three visionaries: Steve Jobs, Ronald Wayne, and Steve Wozniak. By the mid-1970s, Wozniak would finish a prototype of something later called the Apple I. It was a personal computer which was way more user-friendly than the professional behemoths that computers used to be back then. Steve Jobs saw the opportunity and convinced Wozniak to start a company to sell it. Officially, on April 1st, 1976, Apple Co. was officially founded. So by technicality, you could say that Apple is a big April Fool's joke. Anyways, Wade was an experienced businessman that was brought in to help grow the company. And he also wrote the original partnership agreement and actually drew the first ever Apple logo with Newton sitting under the tree. Yeah, be happy they didn't stick around for long. However, he quickly became concerned over the company's financial status since they were, broke. And just 12 days after the company was founded, he sold his 10% share for $800. Which, fun fact, that 10% will be worth $345 billion today, which would have made him one of the richest men in the world. Actually, no, the richest man in the world. Bet he regrets it now. Finally, the Apple I computer was released to the market in 1976. It was just a motherboard, no screen, no chassis, no keyboard. Despite its many limitations, it was revolutionary since it was one of the first personal computers with a decent user interface. But it wasn't an operating system like none of the ones we see today. It just allowed users to type codes and load programs. There was no home screen or anything like that. But sales were very low. They only sold 50 units of these. They needed something big to make an impact. Cue in the Apple II. Creative name, I know. It was released in 1977 and was a huge improvement over the first generation. First of all, it had an actual chassis. It also had a built-in keyboard, expandable memory, and best of all, a color display. Which back in 1977, it was really impressive. Plus, it ran some form of operating system. It's not really named or similar to anything nowadays, but it's at least better. Jobs and Wozniak needed more money to improve the production. So they went and got a loan from Mike Marcula. I'm sorry, bro. A former Intel executive who gave $250,000 in funding. His investment allowed Apple to grow rapidly, and it became one of the first globally available personal computers, selling more than 6 million units, which, not gonna lie, I think is bigger than 50. But then in the early 1980s, even though Apple was thriving, competition was growing, and IBM had entered the personal computer market, so Apple had to do something. So this led to the creation of the Lisa, and then later the Macintosh, named after the actual Apple Macintosh. Fun fact, they had to slightly alter their name due to legal issues. Anyways, it also first introduced the first ever GUI, or graphical user interface, which is more similar to what we have today, thus setting the basis of this humongous company. But Apple wasn't just about making computers, it was how they made them. No matter what you think of Apple, you have to admit their designs are very consistent. They're more than just a tech company, they're a design powerhouse. Every Apple product, from the very colorful iMacs to the sleek MacBook Pros, follow the same hardware style. Even without the Apple logo, you can tell all the devices are from the same brand. That's because Apple focuses on removing anything that they deem unnecessary, be it hardware or software. All of that to create a smooth experience. Apple wants their products to feel natural to use. They want to make it as convenient as possible for you to use. The unibody aluminum MacBooks, the way the iPhone feels on your hand, the smooth animations in iOS, and even the unboxing experience is made to feel right. They want them to feel effortless to use. It's why their devices don't just look good, they feel good to use. This attention to detail extends just beyond hardware, it goes to software too. Their software is designed with the same philosophy: minimal, smooth, and predictable. Animations are refined to feel natural, and even something as simple as unlocking your phone is designed to feel seamless. Okay, I'm done glazing them. Apple does make bad decisions in the name of design. Their whole philosophy can be summarized as style over function. A great example of this is when they removed the headphone jack from the iPhone 7. Apple claimed it helped with water and dust resistance. That may be true, but conveniently, this happened right when they released their first ever AirPods. Very conveniently. The same applies with their obsession over slimness. MacBooks became so slim that not only did they have barely any ports, but the keyboard was so bad. The funny thing is, they removed the ports, then reintroduced them a couple years later like a brand new feature. Like they brought back HDMI and SD card slots when they realized people actually need them. Like yeah, no. Despite these many missteps, Apple still has one main goal: to make technology simple, look good, and work easily. But when they do get it right, the experience is hard to match. And when all these designs connect, that's where the true magic happens, inside the Apple ecosystem. Unlike other companies that focus on single individual products, Apple built something bigger, an ecosystem. Everything is smooth and efficient. But I've said it before, I'm not here to glaze Apple, so let's get into the downside of it. The same system that makes everything feel so seamless also builds a tight fence around you. Some might even call it a garden, more specifically a walled garden. Inside the Apple world, every piece fits in perfectly. But try adding something that's not Apple made or MFI certified and it's a pain in the ass to use. Third-party accessories don't get the same integration. Sharing files with non-Apple devices is more complicated than it should be. And messaging outside iMessage, you better hope your friends don't have Androids. And don't go out blaming the other companies, Apple makes it so this happens. But here's the thing, when it works, it works. The seamless connectivity isn't just a marketing hype, it is an actual reality. But at the end of the day, you're playing by Apple's rules. Whether it's worth it or not completely depends how much you value convenience over control. If you're still watching and enjoying this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It'll really help support this channel. Thank you. But the question now isn't what Apple has done. It's more, what are they going to do? So what's next? Apple isn't just a tech brand anymore. It's a cultural icon. Having an iPhone or wearing an Apple Watch is no longer about the features. It's a statement. I'm not glazing them, by the way. Use whatever you want, I couldn't care less. Every year, the Apple events draw in millions of viewers watching to get their ass to see what happens next. What's the cool new product or feature? Whether it's the new iPhone, a redesigned MacBook, or a curveball like the Vision Pro, there's always an immediate reaction. Stores are minimalist, packaging is over-designed but really good, and advertising is just so plain and simple it works really well. But that doesn't mean they get a free pass. The same thing that makes Apple so good is also what makes it so bad. Again, if you're an Apple user, every feature works together seamlessly. AirDrop, iMessage, all the stuff I mentioned before. But step outside that world and gets annoying. But despite the locked-in nature of their software, Apple's standing still. They're laying in the groundwork for what's next, whether it be AR glasses, foldable devices, or even more AI. But just know, they're planning something big. Whether you're a fan or a hater, you cannot ignore what Apple has done. From a small startup in the garage to one of the biggest names in the world, Apple has reshaped how we use tech, how much we think about design. The company's never been just about gadgets, it's always been about ideas. And those very rare ideas keep pushing us forward. And if you enjoyed this type of video, tell me, what company should I cover next? Now don't forget to like and subscribe. I am Simeon from Sam Nova. And looking back, every company's future is still being written. We just have to see what happens next. Now, I'll see y'all in the next one.